Hello and welcome back to Stirling Albion TV. Stirling have returned home to Forthbank for Matchday 13 of the Ladbrokes League 2. It's Stirling Albion versus Annan Athletic. Will Stirling be able to get back to winning ways? Let's find out as we take a look at both teams' starting lineups.
For Stirling Albion, number 7, Danny Jargon. Stirling Albion, Number 10, Darren Duffy.
Important to bounce back from last week's defeat?
I think it was, and what it does is sort of back up the performance last week in the wee run we've been on, albeit a mini run, but delighted to get the 3 points, another strong, a really strong team performance today. Didn't have all the pizzazz and good football, if you like, of the Albion game, or some of the Cowdenbeath game, but I felt we showed today that there was a wee sort of stigma about Stirling before I arrived, about being soft and about being, maybe not in people's faces enough, or when people were in our face there tended to be a wee bit of a collapse. But I think certainly over the course of the last 2 weeks, Cove and today, we've stood up to that real physical test, that real battle, and we've showed that quality, that battling quality when it's really been needed. And the time of the year we're at, the months we're getting into, that's going to be crucial. So I really want to use this as a springboard. I say next week will take care of itself, but for me, we need to now start keeping and looking at that league and really start pushing.
Feels a really important win, both in terms of some daylight at the bottom and closing the gap on 4th place, which is where you guess you want to be.
No, I don't want to speak about the bottom. It really does hurt me. I don't think we deserve to be where we're at. I don't think we deserve to be on the same points as a Cove or an Annan or a Cowden. I think after the first 9 games, if we've been on something like 12, 13, 14 points, would have been a far fairer reflection on the performance levels. So I think right now we're in a good place. We've got good momentum, and what we've got to do is strive to continue that. But we've got an awful long way to go to be content where we're at, because I'm not content. I'm delighted with today, but overall there's still a feeling of frustration in how this season has gone so far, and I think the fans are still needing convinced a wee bit, and we need to get them on side. That's our responsibility. So we're going to do everything we can to get everybody pushing this the right way, and I do feel that we've got a squad here that can really make a dent in this league and have an impact in every game. So it's up to the boys to prove me right.
So that brings an end to this week's edition of Stirling Albion TV, with the final score being Stirling Albion 2 and Annan Athletic 0. We'll see you next week for the Scottish Cup third round at home to Clyde. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.